All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Steel Donut Collective and the Christmas special. With me today is Bob.
This is my final intro line.
Connor.
Hello there.
And Yella.
Season's greetings.
And today we are reading a story, just when you think we would run out of misspellings, find another. We also found this one last year and sat on it all year.
Yeah.
Because it's so good. It is the Christmes ring. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, just one letter changed, but it's like Egyptian, Ramses, Christmes.
Yeah.
It's very powerful.
Yeah.
This year today we're putting the Christ back in Christmes.
Yeah. That's our only. No politics, but that's our political stance.
That's our.
You say Christmes, you say Christ.
Yeah, you make sure you're emphasizing Christ and Christmes.
It's also Harry Potter. That's kind of become a tradition. We've been covering one each year.
Well, this one's by Notice Me. And if you don't mind, I'd like to read the description. Harry goes shopping with Ginny and buys a Chistmas present.
Classic.
Yeah, put the Churst back in Chistmas as well.
Yeah.
Classic. I love that one. I have to say, Chistmas has a special place in my heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that one, because we have seen that one before. You see some old and some new traditions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So starting off with some info.
Not an author's note, just a
info.
little FYI.
So that's fine by me. Go for it.
I write and read pretty much any HB pairing except slashy pairings. That just freaks me out.
Oof.
Sorry, big oof right there.
You could have said it was like not your thing, but you said it freaks you out. That's a little much.
There's a little much. But I'll write Harry/Ginny, Harry/Hermione, Ron/Hermione, Ginny/Draco, and those four with OCs.
Cool.
Well, thanks for your list of approved stuff that you write. So I'm pretty versatile in that area.
Exactly how I heard it in my head.
Nice. Yeah, I thought so. I heard it in my head.
Yeah,
like
this
that
author is a master of the subtle misspelling. This is not going to be like your big, what does that even say? It's just
this is not your Christmas. This is without the H, the actual Christmas. But this is versatile. My fav though is Harry and Ginny. So here's this.
Great.
Thanks.
Harry/Ginny pairing. 7th year, Harry wants to get Ginny a ring she liked at the store, but Ginny doesn't understand why. Positive they're only friends. Huh? Ginny doesn't even think about how Harry might feel. Bit of fluff.
What did positive they're only positive.
Yeah, positive they are only
friends.
Okay. Wrong there. Wrong there.
Yeah, Harry's about to get freaking just Avada Kedavra into the friend zone. Oh man. Pour one out.
Well, no.
Glass of milk, please.
Yeah.
Somebody post the meme of the girl spitting daggers into the guy's chest, and it says the daggers say, "What is this ring?"
Right. And I was wondering, why didn't you put that up in the description the first time? But looking at the time this was published, 2004, I mean, that's back when, Twitter was only 140 characters, and fanfiction.net descriptions were only, 140 as well.
That was back when if you went to Friendster.com, you would actually still get a website.
Yeah.
Instead of a virus.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably got both back then, too.
Oh, come on.
So yes, this is supposedly the Christmas ring by MC Doyle.
Oh, she gives her proper name.
Okay, that's okay. Bye. Harry's eyes roved over the cheery Muggle Christmas decorations with some sense of boredom.
Of boredom.
Ever since. Different words spelled the same.
Whoa.
He had Experice, a wizard Christmas. Muggle Christmas was dimmed. So when you said he was very subtle.
Well, I meant the misspellings themselves are subtle, not the amount.
Normally these stories, the descriptions or such, or the author's notes end up much worsely, spelled and typed than the actual story. But here it's starting to look like that.
It really started on a stumble.
This is the sort of story that, like, I'm so glad it was called Christmes, because if you just glance at the text, it looks perfectly fine. It's not until you try to read it, you see that there's a bunch of words that are one letter off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Santa Claus and other cheerful figures lost their youthful shine to the 17-year-old Harry Potter.
Not because he got older, but because he experienced Wizard Christmas. Yeah. So he still believes in Santa, he just doesn't like him anymore.
Well, the thing is, like, Santa does the shit. Santa's a fictional character who supposedly does the same kinds of shit that, like,
that he just does in his life.
He does.
Yeah.
So, like, so I guess he's just not that impressed anymore.
Fly in a flying sleigh pulled by some reindeer, whatever. I rode in like a fucking. I rode in a fucking. What's it called?
I ride a fucking broom. Right.
Yeah, I can ride a broom. I rode in a like a, what's it called? A carriage that was pulled by like invisible skeleton horses. Yeah, like fucking hell.
He's just like, I mean, he's just not impressed with Santa anymore. He's like, oh, now I see how you do all the tricks. I've got a professor who can turn into a cat. Who cares?
Yeah, like Penn and Teller just came in and just ruined Christmas for him.
Yeah, good. That's the way it should be.
But they come down your fucking chimney and just say, all right, kid, here's the hard
Turns out Santa's not real. Santa's bullshit. And Teller just nods silently.
Yeah. And he's like in a little elf costume.
I want that to happen.
Right?
We should have had cameos. Sorry.
Oh, that would be great, yeah. Poking some muggle girl clothing, he let a smile escape his lips. He was.
God,
why is he looking to
that sounds a bit weird.
Well, let's say because words can escape your lips because they come out of your mouth. Yeah. A smile is your mouth. It doesn't come out of your like. Is he like a fucking like alien?
Like a Cheshire cat.
Yeah, what I'm just imagining is his teeth are just jumping out as if they're like dentures.
Well, yeah, like I said, like
that
a
also
xenomorph.
jump out. Yeah, xenomorph stuff. That too.
Yeah.
It's his tongue mouth that's smiling. I get it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. He was looking forward to this Christmas. For this Christmas, he and Hermione had been invited to share Christmas at the Weasley house.
Oh, dude, at the Weasley house, they have a whole Christmas for everyone?
Mm-hmm. And he would be grateful to get away from studying for a while.
Harry sighed. Like me.
Yeah.
It's his seventh year. He hasn't been invited to any Christmas thing at all until now.
Well, mostly he's been on the brink of death around Christmas, you know.
That's
right,
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But also, it's like, Harry's like me, where it's like, I wasn't going to study anyway, but I'm going to feel guilty about it unless I invent some excuse for it. It's like, oh, well, I went to a Christmas party, so that's why I didn't study.
I mean, wait.
I wouldn't study anyway.
Seventh year, seventh book. Didn't they have to run away and basically operate in secret?
I was just looking up when the books were released.
Is this another Merry Wizards thing where they tried to predict the future?
The seventh book was released in 2007. Let's see.
Yeah.
Half-Blood Prince was released in... Yeah, Half-Blood Prince was written in 2005. So everything before that is fair game. But they wouldn't have known what happened in Half-Blood Prince and on. Is Half-Blood Prince 5 or 6? I think that's 5.
6.
Really?
No, okay. Order of the Phoenix was 5.
Oh, that's right, yeah. So 6 and 7 they didn't have.
Yeah.
Okay. Studying for a while. Harry sighed and looked up to Ron, who was stating with him.
Do I want to know what that is? Do I want to know what it is when you stayed with a friend?
You know in your heart.
No, that's true.
Tell me again why we are here.
Ron made a face at a certain muggle girl's shirt and then looked up to his friend.
What the fuck?
Oh, man, I was a big dog shirt. I want one of those.
Like what?
I mean, it just feels like Ron always shits on Malfoy for being like a muggle racist, but then he looks at muggles and it's like, ugh, gross.
He's not even looking at a muggle. He looks at a shirt.
Well, maybe her shirt had something about gingers on it, and she was like, really? He was like, really? That still?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Without seeing the shirt, it's hard to say why he was mad.
Yeah, we'll never know. That was for
upset.
Ron to know and us to never find out.
Yeah.
It was 2004. That was peak time for like gangster Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, that's
Maybe it was one of those.
I mean,
Dude,
Forgive me, Lord, for what I'm about to yabba dabba do. You know?
Have you walked into a Walmart recently? They still sell those shirts.
yeah, they
man.
still sell them, but they're not at the peak they were in 2004.
And they
I
sell
will
all
say,
sorts of
also,
stupid shit there.
Ron makes a face, but we don't know what face it is. Perhaps it's a face of delight.
I mean, generally, make a
see.
face comes with negative connotations.
Sure. But, like, maybe, I mean, if we're being generous here, maybe he looks at this
Since
Bugs
a
Bunny
Bob.
gangster picture and thinks, like, hell yeah, West Side.
Bob, since when are we ever generous?
You're right. You're
Well, it
right.
is Christmas.
Never give credit.
Excuse me,
Never
it is
give
Christmas.
credit, my dude.
I'll give him a little credit because it's Christmas, but don't make me
Oh,
regret
okay,
the
for the
story.
Christmas spirit here. Since we had time before Mum came to pick us up, Hermione wanted to take Ginny to a real Muggle mall. And lucky us, we get to carry their bags.
Harry grinned.
Lucky indeed.
He sighed
sighed.
again, and his free hand ran through his hair.
What is his other hand
its
doing
own.
if it's not free?
The bags. He's on
Stating.
bags, I guess.
Oh yeah, stating.
Stating. I'm going to go find the girls.
Me
Ron-
and the girls.
Ron nodded, and Harry left him and traveled deeper into the store.
Wow, that makes it sound like a grand adventure.
Yeah. It didn't take long to find at least one of the two.
It did take some stone.
Yeah. Ginny stood by the glass counter where they kept the jewelry, leaning on her elbows, looking down. Harry came up beside her and leaned onto the glass as well. Ginny didn't notice who was next to her until Harry spoke up, comma.
Oh.
He jumped over the swords, but he didn't see the kick coming right for his head.
We travel into the second floor of the Macy's. We wonder what we will find there.
What grand adventure?
Looking for a Christmas present?
He asked, making her jump. Ginny looked up and calmed down. She had been quite terrified. It had been a Muggle stranger.
I think
You're
the
in a
author
mall.
might be Muggle
No.
racist.
There are many people around.
So basically, it seems like the Weasleys aren't mad at the Malfoys for being Muggle racist, just for saying the inside part out loud.
Ah.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, there's certain things that you just don't say, because we all know.
Yeah, like, we all know, right? Wink, and you're like, I don't know if I agree. Why are you winking at me?
What are you even? What are you
implying?
thinking? What are you thinking? We know.
I'm gonna just
Malfoy,
give
would
you a tentative no.
Malfoy, would you stop saying that racism is awesome? We all know it's awesome. It's just lame to hear you say it.
And Harry's like, I don't think it's that awesome. And Ron's like, shh, 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 shh. This is let the adults talk.
Yeah. Don't come in here with your bad takes, Harry. Jeez.
Yeah, jeez.
Jeez, Harry, what? Did you like grow up among them or something?
Harry looks at Hermione and he's like, did you say something? And she just kind of shrugs. She's like, I just gave up a while ago.
I gave up before I was even born, man.
Yeah, like, fuck this. Not my fight.
Well, she's been, like, Jenny's, like, super indoctrinated, though. She's, like, terrified.
Yeah, she's
like,
scared.
oh, a muggle. She's in a muggle store.
Violent,
she
brutish
expecting?
muggles.
They do have nice stuff in their malls, though, so we brave the danger.
Yeah. It's like Metal Gear, you know. She's just like magics a box over her head and hides in there if they come too close.
Yeah.
And then everybody's
literally
just like,
magic.
what's this box doing here? And then just walk on and ignore it.
Whose wizard
only-
footprints are these?
Yeah, it was wizard.
Must have been the wind.
What was that magical noise?
Okay, anyway. She had been quite terrified it had been a Muggle
Quiet.
stranger.
Kinda.
She replied, spelled wrong
No.
shortly.
Yeah.
Rep-
Reply.
Replied?
Yeah, Replied.
Yeah, she replied shortly. She turned to look back down at the rings below her. Without noticing, Harry began to study her.
I thought he wasn't gonna study on Christmas.
Who didn't notice?
Ginny didn't notice.
Without noticing.
I was startled.
Without her
after
noticing.
letting my guard down. Let me immediately let
Yes.
my guard down
Yes,
again.
that is what she's doing.
She had
How are
grown
you
up.
alive?
Barely.
Harry began to study her. She had grown up quite a bit. now that she was 16.
Oh my
Nothing
God! Are we
sense.
gonna be
Nothing
weird?
sense.
Please don't be weird.
She
Please
had
don't
let
get
her hair
weird.
grown out, and it now reached her mid-back. She had
Okay.
stayed on the Quidditch team, and it had made her a lot slender. Than Harry had
Harry
remembered. So
remembered.
slender means
Remembered.
more slend.
Yeah, when slender, slends.
And made her a lot slender than Harry had remembered.
Dis.
Remembered, yeah, sorry, remembered, yeah.
Remembered.
Or maybe it was Harry who was, or maybe it was Harry was just noticing.
Yeah.
That sentence just really fell
This
apart.
this is like the most PG-rated paragraph that's been typed with one hand
Yeah,
I've ever seen.
it's like they're still yanking it, but it's like, oh, she's slender.
No.
Which
the
means
author-
more slend.
Hey, the author's just brushing her teeth with an electric toothbrush.
Yeah. She actually wore makeup, but she never globbed it on like some of the school did.
Yeah, those
Yeah, you
people
just
just
grab a handful
glob on like
and you just-
5 layers of makeup. Ugh.
Like nice little makeup shaming. Great, love it.
Yeah, thanks,
Fantastic.
great.
Yeah, well, I mean, like heavy makeup, you don't want to come out looking like, Bozo the Clown.
Okay, but like,
I mean, that's a very
Hogwarts
different kind of
is-
makes than is implied.
well, I just
Hogwarts-
think it's great that Harry's just like he has to throw these snide comments into his internal monologue.
Yeah. Ginny, she's pretty unlike those West Coast
Whores,
girls
like,
at
what-
Hogwarts who,
like
pick on the makeup and find a sugar daddy.
I don't know. I'm just playing Christmas Devil's Avocado. Like, you're allowed to have preferences on how much makeup someone wears.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
but I mean,
but
like,
you
I
don't
don't
have
know.
to be weird about it.
when I'm admiring the person I love, I rarely think about other people during that process.
That
Did you ever
too.
think maybe you're doing it wrong?
Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Yeah, maybe I should
think-
be comparing her to more people.
Oh
Yes.
no.
Well,
You know what? I'll start doing that, and I'll check in with you guys about how the divorce is going.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Harry pulled himself out of his collective thought.
his
Oh,
Steel Donut
boy.
collective thought.
Oh boy.
They knew we were gonna read this.
Harry is part of the biomass.
We are one.
Like the Boston Symphony of the Night, like the big pile of bodies.
I mean, literally, he is just Legion.
No, Demogorgon.
Kinda? How can you be kinda looking for gift?
Forget
Harry.
Yeah,
you,
me, Harry.
Ginny.
Me learn magic but forget grammar.
I mean, listen, there's only so much space in your brain for information.
That's
Oh,
And,
man.
and the magic takes up quite a lot of space.
That's the Sherlock Holmes thing. Remember, like in I think it's I think it's the first Sherlock Holmes story. Watson starts to tell him something interesting about space, and he like cuts him off and just like, "Don't tell me that space shit. I'm a detective. I don't need to fill my brain with that because it's not useful. I only want to know useful things."
He's like, don't tell me about planets and stars and stuff. Can they affect a mystery down here? No, I don't care.
That's literally
Yeah.
what he says, though. And like Watson's just like, "Oh man, this is gonna be a real long life I have to live with this guy as a roommate."
Yeah. I'm gonna min-max my magic skills, and that doesn't require me to, like, remember all these little words. That
Let me just take all
sentences
points out of
make
lore and grammar,
Yeah,
I
so
guess.
Yeah.
and-
no, that would be wisdom. He uses wisdom as his dump stat, and he has intelligence as, which is a terrible idea. Never make wisdom your dump stat. That's a horrible idea.
Yeah, make sure it's luck and charisma.
Yeah, luck being your dump stat is also pretty bad. And
I think
charisma.
Harry Potter did put luck as his dump stat.
Yeah.
To be fair,
If you
yes,
think about
he
it.
did. He did.
No, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. I was thinking, like, does all the good things that happen to him in the books outweigh, like, the dead parents? And, like, no, not really.
But at the same time, like all the good, a lot of good shit does happen. Like, I mean, he didn't really, the thing is, he didn't allocate his points until after his parents died.
Oh, okay.
He was
Right.
a little
I mean,
bit.
he gets like more. He ends up as the main character of so many adventures. Like, even one of those would be more than any other rando would get across their whole life.
That's
Yeah,
true.
and also think about the fact that a lot of the bad things that happen to him aren't bad things that happen to him. It's things that happen to people around him. Like, guess who
That's
didn't
true.
put any points in their luck stat? Sirius Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor guy.
His whole life pretty much sucked. He had an
And his
abusive childhood, ended up in like the worst prison, like Alcatraz times 10 for a good chunk of his life. Finally
For something he
escapes.
didn't do. Yeah.
for something he didn't
Finally
even
escapes,
do.
dies shortly afterwards. So like his life was the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than
That's
by
the
a
only
cousin.
good thing that he really had going for him is that he was Gary Oldman shirtless in a fur coat, which is, you know.
I mean, that's a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
You
As
see,
far as
that's,
things go.
I mean, that's just karmic balance right there.
Yeah, all that other shit, bad. But Gary Oldman shirtless in a fur coat, nice.
Yes.
There we
Your
go.
life will suck, but when you get portrayed in the movies about this, you'll be played by shirtless Gary Oldman.
Everyone's like,
Fair trade.
Everything was worth it.
yeah. Wow, what a life.
Well, Wheel, I wasn't looking for anybody else.
She said, looking back up, biting her lip.
Not an answer to your question, really.
I mean, it is. The sentence continues.
would-
It is an answer.
I was kind of window shopping for myself. They're really nice.
See, so she's not. So she's kind of looking for a gift, and she's not actually looking for a gift to give somebody. She's just kind of looking for something she would like to receive as a gift.
So you're
Yeah, fair enough.
shopping.
Yeah, she's shopping.
She is shopping.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Harry really is like a fucking caveman. Like, what happened to him?
Oh, I don't
Monosyllabic
understand.
oath.
Harry looked out at the rings. He had never gone shopping with his aunt, or any girl before, so he didn't really know what he was looking at.
They're rings. It's not difficult.
It's not difficult, dude.
Harry, you will never be the whizziest and zizziest wizard in Hogwarts.
If you don't even know what a ring is,
Yeah, you're like 17. Like, use context.
I mean, honestly,
Look around you.
You know
Ring
what
is a fucking
jewelry
shape.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what jewelry is. You look at a ring, and let me give you this is a buyer's guide to rings. You look at a ring. Does it fit? Do you like how it looks? Buy it if you want.
Does it level up the applicable stat, you know?
Yeah. Does it give
Does
you
it
better
increase-
stat points? Good. Wear it if you like.
Does it
Can't say the
increase
word
the power
applicable,
of your?
right.
I mean, does it increase the power of your punches without adding to your equip load? Then you sure as hell get that.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a video reference.
Rings of the pugilist or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But Ginny, this is a muggle shop. You can't enchant these rings. Come on, you have let's go back to Diagon Alley and buy one there. You know, you can enchant that out.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know why he's so confused by rings. They're just like, if you think they look pretty, you wear them. If you don't, you don't wear them.
It's
That's
fine.
Like, there's not much more.
Jewelry?
There's nothing more to it, really. I mean, yeah, there's, like, real and fake, but, like, who cares? You live in a closet.
Also, I like the implication.
Who cares? You live in a
Dumb bitch. You live in a closet.
Also, I'm going to let the author know. I mean, it's 2004, so maybe she's figured this out in the intervening years.
In
But
the 17 years since then,
men wear rings too, because the
yeah,
implication. of the
amazing!
sentence-
I know. Crazy.
Shocking concept.
I have at least 8 of them.
Turns out gender and whether you wear rings are unrelated topics.
Yeah, I've always wanted to get one of those old school rings that you use to like stamp a letter with wax.
Oh, a signet
Oh
ring.
yeah.
Yeah, signet ring,
That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
and it would be dick butt, of course. I would.
Yeah, obviously.
That would be your family crest.
It's either that or the Steel Donut logo, and that's not gonna happen. So it's gonna be the dick butt.
Right. But I mean, I don't know, you know, back in the day, it was different. I mean, like, as Adam Carolla pointed out recently, you know, more men nowadays wear bracelets than eat soup. He actually tweeted that.
What?
I mean,
I think it was Adam Carolla.
What
Sorry
a
if I
take!
dissed him, but yeah, that's where we are now with, like,
I don't know if that's
men
a
aren't
diss.
men anymore.
I think that's just a statement of fact.
An unusual observation.
It's an observation of 2 seemingly unrelated stats: the soup consumption and the ring wearing.
Yeah, or bracelet wearing in this case. Yeah.
Yeah, bracelet wearing, yes.
Yeah. Ginny looked back up at him, seemingly surprised. Thought that was wrong. At his simple question. She recovered quickly, standing up and shrugging. Did she fall down?
No, she was so surprised, it took her so off guard that she just needed a moment to recover.
She just collapsed, standing up and shrugging.
Doesn't matter. I can't afford it.
Harry grinned and stood up as well.
Maybe I can pass it along to someone who can.
He offered, implying that it could be a Christmas gift from him, but
not a Christmas.
A Christmas gift.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
putting Chris back in Christmas.
Yeah, put Chris back in Christmas, please.
I'm in so many moods right now.
He deserves to have his day, you know.
Christmas. Yeah.
Did Chris Rock ever release a Christmas special called Christmas? Because that would be great.
But Ginny didn't catch it.
No. This reminds me of the fact that Harry Potter is fabulously rich, which I feel like I just have to say this real quick. Am I the only one who feels like that gets completely forgotten? But after the first movie, like his parents left him a fortune, and then it's like he never like goes around buying anything. He never offers to buy anything for anyone else. He never really buys anything for himself. He gets given his fancy broomstick.
He gets given a bunch of fancy shit, and anytime he needs to buy stuff, it's just implied that he pays for it, or at least like he never worries about money. And I think that was the reason she had him inherit a bunch of money from his parents, so that she wouldn't have to have that question floating around. But at the same time, it really does just make it a rich Englishman bosses around Ron and his friend, and his other friend Hermione, and then like okay, well, I'm just rich and I just hang out, and your brothers can die in my wars. Like that's what happens.
Well, I mean, Harry does most of the dying. I just think it's more like...
except for when Ron's brothers do die in his wars.
Yeah, well...
I barely remember the, smaller parts of the books, but I think, he does stuff with the banks in Book 5 more, but...
Yes,
I'm more just trying to make, the joke point that he should be buying...
He should really be, buying everything for everyone around him.
No, more like he should be walking through the school fucking blinged out. Like he should have a ring on each finger.
He should. Well, he's not familiar with the concept of rings, apparently.
Yeah, that's a big problem. If you want to get blinged out, if you don't understand what bling is,
he doesn't know what jewelry.
You're 12 and you found out you inherited $100 million. Don't you buy a bunch of stupid shit? You're 12.
Yeah, I buy a vinyl copy of
Results May Vary by Limp
Bizkit for $270.
Which is a very rare album, it turns out.
I mean, Harry's just so
And then here's
humble,
the crazy part. Here's the crazy part. I buy it on vinyl, and then I go into a store, and I just leave it on the dashboard of my mom's car, and it just melts.
Yeah. Damn. Results may vary.
Yep. Because that's the kind of 12-year-old I was.
If Harry Potter was written today, he'd be walking through Hogwarts with, bitch, sit down, be humble.
Yeah.
Sit down, bitch, be humble. Like Kendrick Lamar playing on his phone or something.
Yeah, not even into headphones. He's just playing it on his phone so everyone can hear.
Just as loud as possible.
This feels like the kind of shit that Sorting Hat would say.
Oh man, are we gonna see Sorting Hat in the reviews? No,
I hope.
I just hate when a character. I just hate the fact that he's rich and then it just never gets brought up again.
Yeah. It's like, now that you've accepted that fact, who cares? It'll never play into anything that ever happens.
All you'll ever do is buy food for yourself, and that's it. You won't indulge in a single luxury. Despite the fact that you're a teenager.
She doesn't even make a point of how generous or careful with his money he is. She doesn't bring it up.
It just it kind of just gets...
like Cho Chang. He falls in love with Cho Chang. He should have been buying her a bunch of stuff because he was a teenager in love with money.
And she could say something about that, right? Like she could make a message about money doesn't buy love, doesn't buy happiness, something like that. No, never explores it, doesn't come up.
Yeah.
So who cares?
Well, I mean, to be fair, this is the same thing where it's Dumbledore's I'm going to leave you with an abusive family despite the fact that there's a million better options. So maybe the books just don't make sense sometimes.
Don't make that much sense, actually.
They don't hold up to any closer scrutiny. You just got to stick along for the ride.
Yeah, and then just don't ever look up her Twitter account. Just don't, and you're good. Don't do any further digging.
Or just read like adult books and not young adult books.
Oh yeah. Maybe just read different books. All right. Why? She said, frowning.
My parents don't need to waste money on something like that when they can barely pay for my Hogwarts education. Fred and George are rich now, but I don't want to ask them. And
how are Fred and George rich? What?
They run a shop of some kind.
Okay. Yeah, it was like a prank shop.
They never gave back to their parents at all.
The biggest untapped market, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jokes.
How on the nose.
Just because J.K. Rowling doesn't know how to write a joke, she figures jokes must be this big untapped market.
My whoopee cushion empire.
My magic whoopee cushion empire.
It sounds like two farts when you sit on it.
Ginny.
Harry cut her off, grabbing her wrist, which had been moving around to get her point across.
Okay, so
she's not gesturing. She's not gesturing with her hands. She's gesturing with her wrists.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's the wrists that have been moving around.
Yeah, her hands have been stationary in the air, and her elbows are maybe moving a little, but her wrists are going fucking wild. I mean, she's basically contact juggling, but with her hands instead of fushigi balls.
Oh,
damn!
All right,
weird. Just show me which one you liked.
Ginny held his gaze for a moment or two, her soft brown eyes searching his radiant green ones.
Okay.
He hands lowered, but he still held on to her wrists. That's concerning.
He pulled her wrists down as well. Okay.
Yeah,
it's like, keep in mind, this is caveman Harry. He tried subtle. He
is attempting subtlety. Yeah.
Was the hardest thing he ever did. He was like, maybe I can pass it along to someone who can, like, trying to fight the urge to just say
grab
it correctly.
Her, and
but now he's
swing
just
her over
like,
his
Ginny,
shoulder.
me buy ring for you.
Yeah. Be Harry Potter, you Ginny.
A little bit of a Freudian slip.
And she's like, who the fuck is Jane?
Ginny Hart stopped for a moment. and and realization hit her.
I mean, at least Harry didn't hit her in his enthusiasm for buying the ring. I'm sure his wrists are moving around also to get his point across.
Sure, yeah.
Harry, Ben.
She started, but her voice stopped working.
That's concerning.
It's healthy. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Her heart stopped. Her voice stopped.
Yeah,
everything stopped.
Yeah, so she's faltering a little bit. It could be related to the new diet, but like, who cares?
Faltering. She stopped functioning entirely.
Yeah, well, lungs and organs and brain will stop pretty soon. But
Ginny wanted to continue speaking, but noticed her teeth falling out.
Oh no!
Hey, girl.
Harry's like, "Hey, your hair's coming out in clumps. Are you okay?" And she goes, and then falls to the ground.
Just into a heap of dust.
A skeleton in real time. Yeah. I just want to get you a Christmas gift,
he said simply.
Okay.
But I can't get you one.
She replied in a soft whisper.
I didn't ask you to.
Oh, Han Solo.
He said, leaning in to whisper too.
Okay, so now they're very close.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, that's not how you... Well, I guess yeah.
Well, it's like the, it's
British.
Like the
bread.
Yeah.
Mom?
Oh, shop clerk interrupted? Interrupt, making Ginny turn from Harry.
Did you two need help?
I gotta say, that's a great move by the shop clerk, because, like, from the shop clerk's perspective, all they see is Ginny standing there, looking at jewelry, and then Harry walks up and grabs her wrists and starts whispering to her.
Yeah, well, all the shopkeep sees is a guy walking up in a loincloth with a club on his shoulder.
Right. And then he grabs her by the wrists and starts whispering to her aggressively.
Yeah, he throws her over his shoulder and starts pounding his chest.
And then shop clerk
slams his club down on the display cabinet with the rings.
Yeah, is everything all right over here? Oh, yeah, we're fine. We're just looking.
Bonks her on the head, then jumps from the counter to one of the support columns and is jumping from column to column like swinging on whatever shit's hanging from the ceiling.
I like the progression there. He went slowly from caveman to he straight up returned to monkey.
Yeah.
Return to monkey.
Return to Donkey Kong.
Reject humanity.
Return to Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, for the first time in a long time, Ginny was at a loss for words.
The author's at a loss for words. Also, is Ginny just super quick-witted or something? Just like Robin Williams?
Yeah, normally she's very quippy. It's a lot of West Wing style, like quippy dialogue, but no, not today.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like her like lungs and jaw and whole face has also just stopped working by this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. The look on her face is completely slack because she's just had a stroke.
Yeah.
She looked back at Harry with a lost look on her face. Oh, God.
I'm lost. Which one did you want to look at?
He asked lightly, rossing his eyebrows above his glasses frame.
What the fuck? Can we remember for a second how big his glasses are?
I'm just, you know what? I gotta retract my eyebrows from the back of my head sometimes.
Yeah.
Ginny smiled and turned toward the shop clerk, breaking Harry's hold on one of her wrists.
Okay, I guess he's not holding that tightly.
I mean, the fact that he's still holding it.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that he didn't let go yet.
This one, Mom.
She pointed to a gold one with a tiny red jewel on it. She felt Harry's hand slid from her wrist, and look into her hand as the shop clerk, pulled out the ring in question. Harry took the ring from the clerk and began running. and examined the price.
Oh, shiny.
Ginny, run! Come on, let's go! Got it!
Ginny, we have it, go!
Oh man, Harry's about to, very subtly, again, at least for caveman Harry, brag about his wealth.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. See, this is why they don't do it in the book, because it seems really out of place.
Yeah, but it would make him,
make him look like a huge asshole.
Yeah, but that would be a real mix-up, you know? It would be nice to have an asshole protagonist every once in a while. Hey, I'm Harry. I'm just gonna pay this guy to kill Voldemort. Oh, end of book 1. Already solved the problem with my money.
Yeah. Imagine if Harry had hired a wizard hitman. Like, that would have been...
Damn.
Greatest job of all time.
Yeah. It's not that expensive,
he stated, looking at her with an impish grin.
What a jerk.
I'm smiling because you can't afford it.
But I can easily do it. He just walks in, it's like, oh, you're going to give me a bad grade, Severus Snape? Well, guess what? I'm buying the school, just like, you know, when Bruce Wayne buys the restaurant, you know?
Yeah.
I'm buying Hogwarts. Hogwarts is mine now. I get A's.
Ginny and Harry are having I'm just imagining Harry and Ginny having a romantic moment. They're, like, snuggled up in bed, and she looks at him and says, Harry, what do you like about me? And, you know, it's one of those kinds of questions, and he's supposed to say something romantic, and he's like, I love the money differential we have in our relationship.
It's so easy
and suddenly
to
she kind of just shifts back in her spot and goes like, excuse me? What did you just say?
I pretty much pretty much my existence alongside yours is just a constant nag because I exist with wealth and you don't.
It's wonderful that I just love giving you a stipend at the beginning of the week.
He doesn't give her a stipend, are you kidding?
It's a very small stipend. He still calls it a stipend, but it's like 4 maybe 400 gold.
You see, it's like I Love Lucy. They sleep in separate beds, except her bed is like just like a sheet on the floor, and his is like this beautiful 4-poster silk canopy bed.
Yeah. Sometimes he lets her sleep with him, but most of the time it's her crate.
Yeah.
she gets a crate.
My love language is gift giving, which is perfect because you can't afford anything.
An important part of the styling of the bedroom, though, especially, is that when he lies in bed, he can very easily see her in just on the sheet, so he can remind himself as he falls asleep that he is much richer.
Yeah, it's like, if Batman stumbled upon their house, he'd think it was like Two-Face's hideout, because every room has the poor side and the rich side.
Yeah. And he looks over to the poor side and he says, "Oh, I'm so rich that it makes me a better person."
Oh, I'm so glad I inherited my way out of that.
Whoo!
Bullet dodged.
Yeah.
But it never explains how his parents got rich. That's what I want to know. I
think they probably do explain it somewhere, but I don't remember it all.
His dad really killed it on the wizard stock market.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they died young.
You know what it is? Invested in Amazon.
Yeah.
Really early on, invested in Amazon, and it just shot right up, and it was like, well, there you go.
I knew these Muggle stocks would do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and of course they invested in the Gerber baby plan for Harry, which,
Yeah, obviously.
That Gerber baby plan, you turn 18, you get $1 million. That's how that works, right? I don't know, my parents never invested in the Gerber baby plan.
My parents did, and that's not how it worked for me.
If Harry's parents didn't get killed, he would have eaten just the best Gerber baby food.
For the rest
of
his
his he was
life.
Left with the Durnsleys and was forced to eat slop. How unfortunate,
Isn't that exactly the same thing? Eating slop? It's Gerber baby food.
Well, no, I mean Gerber baby food. Gerber Baby Food, which is the sponsor of today's video, meticulously creates the most delicious foods. I don't know.
I mean, delicate could also work.
Delicatessen, that's kind of where my brain was going.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean, remember that time that Gerber tried to sell adult food because they found out college students were eating it? This was before microwaves and
I vaguely remember this, yeah.
This is an actual thing back in the day, so they would sell I don't know, hot dogs in a jar or something. It was really gross. Well, and Oshkosh B'gosh sold adult clothes at one point, too. So at one point, you could have just been a baby forever. Just keep eating Gerber and wearing Oshkosh B'gosh.
Turns out, thanks to Etsy, you still can.
Oh, well, yeah.
Now I'm just thinking about if Gerber had gone with, ramen instead of hot dogs in a bag or whatever, they might have actually cornered the market.
Yeah, Gerber. I want some of them Gerber noodles, please.
Gerber me up. Daddy?
It tastes so Gerb. That would have been their tagline, Gerber. It tastes so Gerb. It's like this is an alternate
I'm not
timeline.
Liking this alternate universe anymore.
Yeah, there used to be in our universe.
Did it well, getting our own universe here.
In our universe, we have "What's Up" or something from the 2000s, but
from there
exists a timeline where a bunch of people are eating Gerber in the commercial, and they're like, "It tastes so Gerb," and it just becomes a cultural touchstone.
Let me just say, that was a wonderful ad break.
Yeah, let's get back to our content.
They really appreciate that, yeah.
Yeah, that's why they sponsored us.
Merry Christmas. Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Go to Gerber.com and use the ad code SDC for 15% off your first purchase.
Use the ad code SOGERB.
We're gonna rebrand to the Steel Gerb Collective.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, in case it wasn't clear, we're definitely joking. We are not sponsored.
Yeah.
She said back. Harry was sliant. Harry was sliant for a moment, just looking at her with a certain type of joy Ginny couldn't place. By the way, we absolutely would take a Gerber sponsorship if they wanted to sponsor us.
Well, it's I see some YouTubers get sponsored, and they are clearly just reading a default script. Some of them do their own thing and work it into their style. I feel like Gerber would really regret doing that with us.
You know what?
They'd say, please read the script.
We would say we don't want your money then.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, anyway, just looking at her with a certain type of joy Ginny couldn't place.
We'll take it.
said Harry, handing the clerk the ring and going to his pocket for his purse. Again, okay. He set out the sum in the muggle bill he had exchanged for his wizarding money with a pleased smile.
The singular bill.
$1,000 bill.
Yeah,
pounds.
Checks out.
£1,000 bill. This is England.
Pounds, sorry.
£1,000 dollar bill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out he got scammed. He gets him like a $1 million or £1 million bill, and it has Shrek on it, and he's like, "Oh yes."
And the
King of
muggle,
England, Shrek.
the muggle wipes on it with like one of those little iodine markers and goes, "Yep, checks out," and just like cashes. I want to get your change. After the clerk had wrapped the gift and left? Did
the store. The clerk just left the fucking store.
That's my last transaction of the day. Goodbye.
Yep. Look at the time. I'm clocking out. Goodbye.
Oh man, I love her response here.
Harry, you shouldn't have. I'm used to not getting what I want.
What?
What a fucking sad sex.
What
She's
a
just
thing
like
weird thing to say.
Yeah, what a thing to say.
like that is a straight up Eeyore like.
Yeah, if she said
Mood.
I'm not
It's
used to
okay.
getting what I want. If she said I'm not used to getting what I want, that is still sad, but like not nearly as weird or sad as I'm used to not getting what I want.
Yeah.
Not too much of a ring for not too much of a wizard.
God.
She said pleadingly. She hated
Why
how
is she
weak she sounded.
How is she pleading that?
She's not like the school punching bag, right?
No.
I mean, she kind of is.
I think so. What?
Isn't she like one of the
Weird.
more assertive Weasleys, if I remember right?
No, she started like, at least in the movie, she was pretty like shy and reserved. And
In
it's
the
like,
first,
Ron-
well, in the second, her first appearance, she's very shy, and then after that, she kind of gets more brave.
and like
As the
Ron,
story
meanwhile, is just like he's always very afraid.
goes.
Ron's just
I'm a
Ron,
big
man.
bitch. That's a line from the books.
Yeah. You miss so much when you just watch the movies.
Well, I'm not used to pretty young witches not getting their Christmas gifts, so I win.
What does that mean?
He won the game.
He's very suave.
He won the game of being rich and buying things.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
sorry,
like a
I'm
race, you know?
no
And I just got a
way.
massive head start.
I'm not used to pretty young witches not getting. I mean, you're barely used to
She
fucking
says-
Christmas.
Well,
It's
she says,
just in
I'm
contrast what she says.
yeah, she's like, I'm used to not getting what I want, when she meant I'm not used to getting what I want. And then he's like, well, I'm not used to pretty young witches not getting their Christmas gifts. But like,
I'm
That's
not
stupid.
used to Harry or Ginny saying these things. Or
Yeah,
having
they're
these
not.
characters.
They're a little out of character.
Yeah.
They're a little.
Are these the OCs you were talking about, author?
he stated, adding the little gift bag to the others he had been holding.
He still has a fucking handful of bags this whole time.
Her turned back to Ginny.
You'll get your Christmas gift on Christmas.
He said, stepping into the crowd. Stepping into the crowd?
What kind of line is that?
He's like literally gonna. He's not giving her the ring now. He's gonna give it.
Yeah, he's
to
gonna
her on
wait.
Christmas.
Yeah,
And then he
it's a
steps
Christmas
into the
gift.
crowd like in Assassin's Creed, where he just blends
Yeah,
in.
he just blends in, and she's like, "Whoa, he disappeared."
Oh, I was gonna say Jenny walked into the crowd and started pressing A to go Harry, Harry.
Stepped in the crowd like Hannibal Lecter at the end of Silence of the Lambs. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Yeah. Or The Cave, The Descent. One of those like movies where they go into a cave.
Or
Events
Kaiser
like that.
Soze, and he walks
Yeah.
away and he doesn't have the lamp. Ginny stayed where she was stunned. Ginny stayed where she was stunned for a moment.
Yeah, I'm a little.
I
stunned too.
assume that's the way it's supposed to be read.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he stepped in. Ginny?
He asked, turning back. I guess he's not. The crowd isn't moving.
The crowd. It's just a crowd of people just standing there.
Just a fucking matte painting and their animation cells.
Okay. He asked, turning back. Ginny came up to him, reached up and placed a kiss on his cheek. Reached up, I assume, with her face, not her hand.
Yeah.
Thank you, Harry.
She said, smiling, cheerful as the decorations around her. Cool, good sentence.
Okay.
Weird.
Now Harry was at a loss for words,
Oh, God.
but finally forced out something half intelligent.
Intelligent.
I wish this author was even half intelligent.
Yeah. Hope it's more intelligent than this. What this author.
Spelling intelligent wrong is such a mood.
Yeah, that's like running into a stop sign. It's like...
You could summarize the entire Steel Donut channel with just the words half intelligent.
Half intelligent.
How it builds up to that, Harry was at a loss for words and finally forced out,
I'm cracking up meanwhile at the way Harry's about to say this. It's so fucking funny.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, he has trouble with words that are two syllable, yeah.
Yeah. Like yower.
Your.
He paused and ran a hand through his hair. I love that he just has... One hand is carrying all the bags. All of them. And the other hand is for running through his hair.
I mean, here's the thing, right? The reason he can carry all these bags so easily is he is sneakily using magic outside of Wizardland. So he is breaking the law.
And he does have a big monkey hand.
He is also
That's
a
true.
big ape, yes.
Yeah.
He is very strong. Can I ask why?
God, those were all like
She
three letter
said
words
thank.
and one letter
She
word.
said fucking thank you after you
Is
bought her
he-
a gift. Are you an idiot?
Two options. He's either so dumb that he just bought her something she couldn't afford and is not sure why she's appreciated
grateful.
that,
Yeah.
or he's again like playing her and wants to hear her say like, "Oh, I liked that you bought that for me."
Actually, you know what? It could really be either. You're right, because like he could just be getting sexual gratification out of her gratefulness. That's right. Thank me for what I've done for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Bask in my magnanimousness.
Yeah.
No.
Ginny grinned, amazed on how guys can be so sweet one minute and very confused the next.
Yeah, see, so
I'm
he's
also amazed
intentionally
on
dumb.
how Harry can be so sweet one minute and very confused the next.
Harry's also not someone who wouldn't understand romantic shit at all. I mean, wasn't book 5 where he went to prom with Cho Chang?
Yeah, or
like,
whatever it was called.
He
Yeah, the ball.
knows how girls work. He's not,
He knows how relationships kind of should function, yes.
See, here's the thing. You guys don't understand. Guys, they're just so dumb. They're not
All
intelligent
just
like
so dumb.
our author.
right.
Goofy boys.
She very intelligent, we very dumb.
That's true. Unga bunga, titties. That's all I care about.
That's us.
Aoonga. You know.
Ooh, banana.
For making this a very Merry Christmas.
With one gift?
Jenny nodded.
I mean, it was clearly very expensive, so yeah.
Yes, with capital one gift.
One
with a
gift to
capital one
rule them all!
Oh my god.
He did
was
buy
gotta
her
be
a
a
ring!
fan. It
is
He
a
did
ring.
buy her a ring!
Oh my god, this is the start of the most epic crossover ever.
Hi, I'm Sauron. My favorite song is Single Ladies by Beyonce.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, Ginny.
Merry Christmas, Harry. It's like
What a
fucking
note to
Goldeneye.
end it on.
Yeah.
For
We do
England,
still have-
James.
We have
We
some
do
reviews
still have
over
some
here.
reviews.
Yeah, so going
Only
from
6 since 2004. It's a little sad. Please don't
Yeah.
add any more.
Don't add any more.
4 of them from 2004, then it took 4 years, and then it took another 9 years. Anyway, so we start off here with Haystack 8190.
What a fucking username.
I mean, there are many stacks of hay in the world, my dude.
Big fan of haystacks, haystack onions. You know.
Anyway. This is so sweet. I love Harry / Ginny together. They make such an adorable couple. You really portrayed their characters wonderfully.
That was the worst thing, was the portrayal of their characters.
Keep going with the story, and I'll keep reviewing. Congrats on an awesome beginning to your story. Haystack. Haystack doesn't seem to understand that this is the story.
I will never make fun of anyone else whose username is like Naruto 580.
To be fair.
It's like,
it
makes sense like Naruto. Who the fuck cares about a haystack?
I mean, sometimes people, literally, a lot of people just sometimes go with objects for the usernames. Like a trend that I've seen a lot is a lot of people who, for some reason, just use random Dutch words for objects as usernames.
It's not super random. In the person's bio, they specifically say what their real name is, their first name, and it's like a pun on that.
Oh, okay. Well, regardless. Also,
yeah.
You know what?
And
I guess
also,
fair enough. The story is not marked as complete, so maybe that's where the confusion came from for
I
Haystack.
don't think you could mark stories as complete in 2004.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I totally understand the confusion. There was no author's note at the end saying like A/N, hey guys, so
I think
that's
you mean
it. Just
info.
a cute little one shot. What'd you think of my story? By the way, check out my other stories, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that didn't exist, so.
Yeah.
Also, this author would, preface it with info.
All right.
Yeah.
So, continuing on the reviews, LEJ418 says, sweet story, I really liked it, so cute.
My Own Little World said, aw, this is sweet.
Kate M, thanks for your kind review. I read this and liked it.
What?
It was really very sweet. One suggestion, however, spell check. A lot of people
the
give up on a
irony.
fic with poor spelling.
The irony.
At least 5 people didn't.
Yeah, it's like rain on your wedding day.
You mean at least 9 people didn't.
Right.
Because we
It's
did.
like rain on your wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mac Ray Reeds, who asks, is there a sequel? Asking this 4 years later. I mean,
Look it up.
It's
check
such a
their
boring
profile.
story. Who cares?
If there's not, then no. It's been 4 years.
Yeah, there's only
13 years.
7 stories on this person's page. You could just look at the description of each.
Well, see, this is why you need an author's note to always just be like, well, that's the end. What did you guys think? Because people cannot tell when
there's just
a
an
story is
ending.
concluded. Oh my, stupid.
I love reading so much. Yeah.
13 years after this story was put up, Guest says a lot of misspelled words, including Weasley.
Okay.
How many people, there's so many people in the world, it saddens me to think at least one person went to their deathbed with their final thought being, will there ever be I never get to see the sequel to my favorite fanfic 30 years after.
I'll never get a
Christmes
sequel
ring.
to the Christmes ring, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Molly, I was just looking at her profile. It's standard fanfiction.net profile. Just like favorite ships, favorite books and bands and all that stupid shit. But I do like, they do show a little bit of mercy. Sirius/OC is one of their favorite ships. Sad to say I write this. You all just don't see it. I hide this away along with my Ramus/OC stories too. Someone who finally realizes that they're self-insert shit. Nobody else needs to see it, and she just never posts it and keeps it for herself. At least we are spared that.
Cool.
I want her to put it out there. I want her to put it out there, and really, I want the world to see everything she has to offer. That sounds great.
Don't let the haters put you down.
Yeah. If they
Question
you know
mark?
what? If the haters
Question
dab on
mark.
you, you dab on right back.
You double dab them.
I'm just sad that we didn't get to see the story that she was working on but never posted. Modern Marauders.
Ooh.
Instead of Marauders, Marauders.
Powerful.
Oh, I see.
Oh, man.
Well,
That concludes not only the Christmes ring, but probably this is also the conclusion of the Christmas special this year.
Yeah.
And as a show of our incredible wealth, we will all be sending you steel donut rings. We won't be doing that.
No.
That's not happening.
We don't have the resources for that.
I don't have the resources to buy one.
Yeah.
just find something on the internet, cut it out yourself, and then pretend we autographed it.
Pretend.
That's the one thing we could do.
Yeah, autographing is
Well, you can't afford the postage.
I mean, like shipping and postage.
Yeah, you're right. No, fuck that.
They'll ship it to us. We'll sign it, and we'll be like, "I'm sorry, you're gonna have to PayPal me if you want this back."
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
I hope you all
Merry
have
Christmas.
a happy holidays. Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and we hope y'all are having a great holiday season. Like usual, there's going to be a playlist of our holiday stuff on screen here at the end, and we're going to have Fate streams again in 2022, so stay tuned for those. If you're interested in the Discord or the Patreon, we've got links below. Stay safe, stay warm, get vaccinated, and be good to each other.